It's frustrating, isn't it? You've probably been in situations where you knew exactly what to say, or rather, what not to say, but the heat of the moment took over. Maybe you've wondered why some people seem to thrive socially and professionally, while others struggle despite having the same, or even greater, intellectual abilities. Here's the thing, intelligence alone isn't the whole picture. This is where Daniel Goleman's groundbreaking book, Emotional Intelligence, steps in. It explores the untapped power of understanding and managing emotions, not just within ourselves, but in our interactions with others. Daniel Goleman didn't start out as an expert on emotions. His journey began as a psychologist and journalist for the New York Times, reporting on brain and behavioral sciences. He noticed something fascinating during his work. Despite decades of focus on IQ as a predictor of success, countless real-life stories painted a different picture. Goleman saw brilliant minds faltering in leadership, relationships, and personal growth, while others with seemingly average intellect soared to incredible heights. The common thread? Emotional intelligence, or EQ. This discovery set him on a mission to bridge the gap between what science knew and what society practiced. To understand the essence of Goleman's work, let's start with the basics. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions while effectively navigating the emotions of others. Unlike IQ, which tends to be static, EQ can be developed and refined. Goleman introduces 5 core components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Think of these as the building blocks of human connection and personal mastery. Self-awareness is the foundation. It's about recognizing your emotions as they happen. For example, imagine you're feeling irritable during a team meeting. Without self-awareness, that irritation might spill out in a snappy comment. But with it, you can identify the emotion, pause, and reflect on its source. Goleman likens self-awareness to a spotlight shining inward, illuminating your internal world. He shares anecdotes from his research, describing professionals who turned career setbacks into opportunities for growth by practicing self-awareness and adjusting their emotional responses. Self-regulation builds on self-awareness. It's the ability to control your emotional impulses and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Picture someone cutting you off in traffic. Your initial reaction might be anger, but self-regulation allows you to take a deep breath and let it go. Goleman emphasizes that self-regulation isn't about suppressing emotions, but managing them constructively. He shares examples of leaders who remain calm under pressure, inspiring confidence in their teams. Next is motivation, which goes beyond external rewards like money or status. It's the inner drive to pursue goals with passion and resilience. Goleman explains that people with high emotional intelligence are often fueled by an intrinsic desire to grow and succeed, even when faced with setbacks. He introduces stories of individuals who overcame significant challenges by channeling their motivation toward long-term goals, showing how this component of EQ plays a critical role in personal achievement. Empathy, one of the most transformative aspects of EQ, involves understanding the emotions of others. It's what allows you to sense when a friend needs support or a colleague is overwhelmed. Goleman highlights empathy as a cornerstone of strong relationships and effective leadership. He provides striking examples, such as a teacher who transformed her classroom by listening to her students' struggles, demonstrating how empathy fosters trust and connection. Finally, social skills tie everything together. This is where emotional intelligence meets action. It's about effective communication, conflict resolution, and the ability to inspire and influence others. Goleman notes that social skills are often the deciding factor in whether someone becomes a respected leader or an isolated worker. He explores real-world cases where strong social skills led to successful negotiations, team collaborations, and even career advancements. But why does emotional intelligence matter so much? Goleman delves into the science to answer this question. He introduces the concept of the emotional brain, centered in the amygdala, which governs our instinctual responses to stimuli. While these responses were crucial for survival in the wild, they can lead to overreactions in modern contexts. This is what Goleman calls an amygdala hijack, where emotions overpower rational thought. Emotional intelligence helps us balance these instinctual reactions with reason, enabling better decision-making and healthier relationships. Goleman provides vivid examples to illustrate his points. One particularly striking story involves a fire captain who led his team out of a deadly blaze by trusting his gut instinct. At first glance, it seemed like a lucky guess, but deeper analysis revealed it was emotional intelligence at work. The captain's self-awareness and ability to read subtle environmental cues allowed him to act decisively and save lives. Goleman explains how professionals in high-stakes environments rely on EQ to navigate uncertainty and risk. The book also tackles the misconception that emotions are inherently irrational. Instead, Goleman argues that emotions are a form of data. They provide insights into what matters to us and how we should respond. Ignoring emotions can be just as dangerous as letting them control us. Emotional intelligence is about striking the right balance. This nuanced perspective helps readers understand that embracing emotions is key to both personal and professional success. Goleman's work isn't just theoretical, it's deeply practical. He outlines strategies for developing emotional intelligence in everyday life. One key technique is mindfulness, the practice of staying present and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness helps strengthen self-awareness and self-regulation by creating a pause between stimulus and response. Goleman highlights research showing how mindfulness reduces stress and enhances emotional control. Another strategy is active listening. This involves fully focusing on the speaker, asking clarifying questions, and resisting the urge to interrupt or formulate a response while they're talking. Active listening fosters empathy and builds stronger connections. Goleman recounts how active listening transformed a struggling team into a cohesive, high-performing unit. Goleman also emphasizes the importance of feedback. Seeking constructive feedback from trusted colleagues or friends can help you identify blind spots in your emotional intelligence. For instance, you might discover patterns of behavior you weren't aware of, such as interrupting others or avoiding difficult conversations. He discusses how feedback, when approached with an open mind, becomes a powerful tool for growth. In professional settings, emotional intelligence is often the differentiator between good and great leaders. Goleman discusses how leaders with high EQ create environments of trust and collaboration. They inspire loyalty and commitment by showing empathy, managing conflict effectively, and communicating with clarity. Organizations that prioritize emotional intelligence in hiring and training often see improvements in productivity and employee satisfaction. Goleman shares examples from companies that adopted EQ-focused leadership models, reaping significant rewards in team morale and innovation. Goleman's ideas have profound implications for personal relationships as well. He describes how couples with strong emotional intelligence are better equipped to navigate conflicts and deepen their connection. By practicing self-awareness and empathy, partners can avoid destructive patterns like blame and defensiveness, focusing instead on understanding and resolution. Goleman recounts moving stories of couples who rebuilt trust and intimacy through the principles of EQ. One of the book's most inspiring takeaways is the notion that emotional intelligence is a skill we can cultivate throughout our lives. Goleman's approach is hopeful and empowering. He encourages readers to see every interaction as an opportunity to practice and grow. Whether it's pausing before reacting, offering a kind word, or reflecting on a challenging situation, small steps can lead to significant change. He highlights everyday examples of people transforming their relationships and careers by embracing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence also explores the societal impact of EQ. Goleman envisions a world where emotional intelligence is taught in schools alongside traditional subjects. He highlights programs that teach children skills like empathy, conflict resolution, and emotional regulation, showing how these initiatives lead to better academic outcomes and healthier social interactions. Goleman argues that fostering EQ in younger generations can create more compassionate communities and reduce societal conflicts. As the book draws to a close, Goleman leaves readers with a powerful message. Emotional intelligence isn't just a tool for individual success. It's a pathway to a more compassionate and connected world. By investing in our emotional growth, we contribute to the well-being of our families, workplaces, and communities. Goleman invites readers to imagine the ripple effect of collective emotional intelligence, where small acts of understanding and kindness lead to broader societal change. In summary, Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman redefines what it means to be smart. It challenges the conventional wisdom that IQ is the ultimate measure of intelligence and success, offering instead a compelling case for the transformative power of understanding and managing emotions. With its blend of science, storytelling, and practical advice, the book equips readers with the tools to thrive in every area of life. So, the next time you find yourself in a heated moment or a challenging conversation, remember, the real question isn't just, what do I do? But, how do I respond?